Yes, I can see live.
All right, we're live. Hey, class. You know me, my name is Kristen Grant. I'm a professor at the University of Oklahoma School of Computer Science. And today, as part of the Introduction to Text Analytics course, we're going to have an interview with a distinguished professor, Dr. Elaine Soisi.
Soisi, yeah.
And so she is an assistant professor of global health in the School of Global Health. And she did her PhD at Virginia Tech. And then afterwards, she went and did a postdoc at Harvard Medical School. And then she moved to the University of Washington, where she is now. And her research is in epidemiology and studies how diseases move. And she uses social media for a lot of her information. So is that right?
Yeah, that's great. That's perfect.
Awesome. So can you explain to the class, let's start off, and can you tell us a little bit more about what you're working on, what your research interests are?
Sure. So my research is mostly focused on how we can use what I call new media sources to track how diseases spread and how we can better control them. So I look at things like internet searches for different diseases, look at what people are posting on Twitter, look at data from review sites like Yelp, and try to put all this information together and basically create a picture of how disease is spreading in the community. So we've done this looking at different diseases. So we've looked at influenza spread in the US, and we've also done this for China using data from Baidu, which is basically the Google of China. We've also looked at tracking reports of foodborne illnesses using data from Yelp. And so we did this for specific data sets that was provided by Yelp for researchers in the academic community. Okay. And we're also using Twitter for the same thing, so trying to see what people are posting on Twitter in terms of foodborne illnesses and how we can use that data to help people that work in public health, so official public health officials, to make decisions regarding foodborne illnesses, restaurant inspections.
Wow, so that's a lot of data. It's a lot of different diseases and a large geographical area. So what are some of the difficult, technical problems you have when you're performing your research?
So some of the challenges are basically storing this data, so making sure that we have the right infrastructure to be able to store the data and have access to it. Also, developing a manual set. So for each problem that we deal with, we have to have a manual classification set where we have individuals actually go in and look at, let's say, for example, we have tweets on influenza. And so we'll have students read tweets and then rate them as either about illness or if they're junk or if there's something else. So we need as much data as we can possibly have to build a reliable machine learning classifier. So going through that process of actually developing that training set can be really, really challenging. And the data is not always very clear. So sometimes you might have two reviewers looking at the same tweet, but would make different decisions about it. So one person might actually classify it as disease or illness, and another person might classify it as junk. And this all depends on like how people say things. So someone might say, dengue sucks, and might have like an emoji of a crying person. And so someone might see that and think, okay, this person is sick. Another person would see it, think it's junk because they don't know if the person's actually sick or if they're just talking about dengue in general. Yeah, so those are two of the major challenges that we face.
Wow, so you need there's a lot of man and woman power, going into behind the scenes to create the machine learning classifier.
Yeah, we do need, that takes a lot of time. I think that's where we spend most of the time. People actually go through those tweets and classify them.
Okay, so right there, let's stop right there for a second.
Okay.
I think after the break, we can go into a little bit more about what skills are required for somebody to work behind the scenes and build these machine learning classifiers. Sound good?
Sounds good.